everybody, it's Christine, and this is your mindful moment for this month of August, staying motivated. So, I thought it would be interesting or kind of fun if we go over a few little techniques that sometimes people use to help them stay motivated or maybe even get motivated if that's where you're at. So, there's something, first of all, we mentioned in our talk called the Pomodoro technique. And it's an approach that helps you maintain your motivation while avoiding burnout. And it can also help increase your productivity. So it's a time management method that's based practically on 25-minute stretches of focused work. And then it's broken down. You do 25 minutes and then you have a 5-minute break. So most people find that is something that they can manage or achieve, right? If I work hard for those 25 minutes, then I know I'm going to have that 5-minute break, catch my breath, stretch my legs, walk around the block, do what you have to do, and then get back to work. So usually that is the format, 25 minutes and then a 5-minute break. And then they would repeat that potentially 3 to 4 times, usually 4 consecutive intervals, and then you would get a longer break, like a 15 to 30-minute break. So that's a really good way to kind of stay structured. I know myself, I've done it in that same type of thing where I'm like, okay, 20 or 30 minutes, I'm just going to push out this information. I have to do it. I have to get it done. And I turn off all my distractions for that time. I, turn off the phone. Don't answer the messages coming in that I'm tempted. Don't check my email. Tell my kids, this is it. I need this much of time of uninterrupted time, 20, 25 minutes. And then I know, boom, when that timer goes off or when that stretch is done, I can have those few extra minutes to myself. And like I said, get up, move around, stretch your body. But also it's a good time to catch up and say, oh, shoot, so-and-so is trying to get a hold of me. Now I can focus on getting back to them and not get out of the work mode and the distractions that you might have had coming in for all those other things. So that's one way, the Pomodoro technique. There's also another technique or rule. I like to use the word technique or strategy, but this is called the Strive for 5 rule. And this is where maybe you're struggling getting started. So it's not even about, staying focused while you're working, which the Pomodoro technique helps. But this is more like you can't even get things started, right? So you're going to strive for 5. You're going to commit to doing 5 minutes. That's it. Just working on this task for 5 minutes. Then you can reassess. Okay. I've also heard of the 3-minute rule. So it's very similar, only you're only committing to 3 minutes, and don't kid yourself. It's not going to complete the task, right? But it will snap you out of an avoidance mindset. So very often it's like, I'm going to do this, and anything that, is to avoid what you actually have to get done. So you're just going to jump in and do it for 3 to 5 minutes and then see where you're at. Maybe you're on a flow if you're working or you're cleaning out that cupboard or whatever you have to get done, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to keep going a little bit more because I'm in my flow, or I have a stride now, right? So tell yourself, almost trick yourself, that you're only committing for a short period of time, and then evaluate. If it's not going well or you hate it or whatever, something else comes up, then you've at least started, right? You've made a jump start, and now you can go back and evaluate what you need to change or tweak to make it a different experience the next time. There's another rule called the 5-5-5-30 rule. And this is also referring a lot of times to fitness. So originally it's designed 5 push-ups, 5 squats, 5 lunges, and then a 30-second plank. So there's your 5-5-5-30. Now you can adapt this to other exercises. Say you want to do sit-ups instead of push-ups, or you want to do jumping jacks instead of squats, or anything like that. So you can use that, and this, they say, can really help jumpstart your metabolism and give you a boost of energy to start your day. But I think that you can actually take that same format and put it to other things. So it might not be for like doing a certain number of reps, but you can do it for minutes, right? You could do like 5 minutes of one thing, 5 minutes of another, 5 minutes another, and that'll be your morning routine, for example, or your bedtime routine, or your mid-afternoon routine to give you some sort of energy, right? So it could be, a 5-minute walk around the block, a 5-minute journaling, and then, I don't know, 5 minutes, close your eyes and just sit and rest, or, doing something physical. I'm thinking of like in the morning where you might want to commit to 5 minutes of a gratitude meditation, or just, sharing gratitude with whoever you speak to, the angels, the universe, just spewing out gratitude. So 5 minutes of that, and then a 5-minute visualization or a chat with, again, I speak with my guardian angel, and we visualize the day, how it's going to go. So could commit to that for 5 minutes, and then maybe you're normally going to go shower. So let's say you do 5 minutes of the dry brushing that Mel had talked about for the lymphatic drain. So you're like, okay, right. 5 minutes gratitude, 5 minutes visualization, 5 minutes of dry brushing every morning. That's my routine. I need 15 minutes in the morning to get started before my shower or brushing my teeth or whatever. So if you can set a little time, or like whether it's time or reps to something, and just kind of get into that habit and into a rhythm almost, that's going to really help, I think, motivate you to get more of those good habits done, right? Have you heard of the 1 second decision? So this is something that David Goggins, who we mentioned in our talk, and we also put a link to one of his videos, talks about. And he says this is where, let's say you've trained and done all this preparation to achieve something like a race, right? And then something happens that's going to give you that, literally you have 1 second to make a split decision. And it's that fight or flight moment where you're not really thinking rationally, and you have to put things back into proper perspective. If you quit in that moment, what are you losing? What are you giving up, right? Everything that you've worked for. So you have to be able to be prepared for that moment to happen when you just feel like you're going to break, or you can't go any further, or you're just like, this is it, I'm done. And then you have to have that 1 second decision to put things back into perspective, right? Because don't forget, like, that can make or break everything in a matter of 1 second. Everything you've worked for, all of that, leading up to this one moment. So by really, being prepared for that, and having these sort of motivation techniques or strategies in your mind that's going to say, no, you know what, I'm about to break. I have 1 second to decide if I'm going to quit. And in doing that, there is no way that you're going to allow yourself to quit. So you decide to keep going. What are those things that are going to keep you going? Maybe, as he mentions, you take your mind to a special, moment that was amazingly happy for you, and you just sort of live in that moment, just to get you through this tough moment. So we can always use our imagination. We can, put ourselves in a different circumstance or a different environment, if we feel that that's going to help keep us motivated and physically going, and just sort of step out of our reality for a moment, because we don't want to make the wrong decision in that 1 second, that can really make or break everything. So he calls that his 1 second decision. And finally, there's something I've always called my 11-second rule. Again, there's that word rule. I'm such a rule breaker. Okay, so this again, 11-second strategy or whatever, countdown. I made this, something that I like to do when I'm not feeling motivated to get something started. Sometimes it's even just getting out of bed. How many times are we going to hit that snooze button, right? And it's just like, okay. So I use the number 11 because that's my number, but you can use 7, 11, whatever number, is something that motivates you. And just give yourself a countdown, committing to the moment that you hit 0, you're getting up, or you're doing it, or you're starting that task. So, count as slow as you need to, whatever, to mentally get yourself psyched up and prepared, but knowing that countdown, 11, 10, 9, 8, that you are saying, yep, all right, I'm okay. I got this. I'm ready to do it. Yep, I think my body's rested enough. Okay, just a few more seconds. Yep, okay, what a treat. I'm getting these extra couple seconds. Thank you. And now, I hit 0. Boom. You just do it. Again, there's that sort of Nike, term, but it's just a matter of making the commitment to yourself that, when you hit this number, when the clock has counted down, you are going to not let anything get in your way. You're not hitting that snooze button again. You're not making another excuse or sending another text. You are actually committing to doing that task at hand, and getting it done. And how else are things going to get done if we constantly make excuses and break away from healthy habits that we're trying to learn, right? So, just to recap, there are different techniques that you can use. And I'm not big on like acronyms, as we've mentioned, but sometimes they help, right? Put yourself, I don't know, into make it word related, and give yourself an acronym that you can connect with, or like the numbers, and do the 5 5 5 30, right? Or strive for 5 rule, 3 minute rule, 11-second rule. These are things that are there to encourage you. Yeah, oh, I just got to snap into that mode. So try to learn these little techniques and try them. If it doesn't work for you, find a different one that will work for you. Or if it doesn't work for you for this particular goal, maybe it's a really big goal and that technique's not going to work. That might work on your next thing that's smaller and more manageable, and that technique works perfectly. So don't discount it just because it doesn't work one time. There are different ones that work for different people, and you will find your rhythm of things if you keep trying and give yourself these little things that really do set you up for success. People have tried them, they've worked, and they're sharing this information with you, so why not give them a try? And I hope these little tips have been, something that you can take to heart and practice to stay motivated, to get you motivated, keep you motivated. So from my heart to yours, I will see you next month. Stay motivated. Take care.